Hey guys, today I want to show you how you're going to take some of the pre-writing that you completed for homework for today, and you're going to be able to transfer that to your boxes and bullets to then use that in a draft for form writing number 9, which again is all about irony in Barney and the Choir. So remember, this is what you completed for homework. Now, I am using an example here using Tom Wayman's poem, Did I Miss Anything? Not necessarily Barney and the Choir, but I'll show you how I can take this and transfer much of this into my graphic organizer. When you go into Google Classroom, you'll find your graphic organizer called Boxes and Bullets there waiting for you, and this is what it'll end up looking like. Okay, so if we take a look, we can actually go ahead and organize our paper in one of two ways. So notice that in the assignment sheet, when it comes to how you're going to organize it, it kind of differs between academic and honors, right? So for students who are an academic, you can go ahead and organize your essay by types of irony. So maybe your first body paragraph is all about verbal irony in Barney and the Choir, and your second body paragraph is all about dramatic irony in Barney and the Choir, and maybe your third paragraph is all about situational irony in Barney and the Choir. That might be something that you could do. The assignment differs a little bit, though, for students who are in honors. Students in an honors section have to organize your paper in any other way other than types of irony. So maybe you organize it in purposes for using irony. So perhaps, who knows, maybe your first body paragraph is all about how irony in Barney and the Choir is used to create humor. And maybe you use different examples of irony from Barney and the Choir that were funny. So this could have been dramatic or verbal or situational, who knows? And maybe your second body paragraph is all about how irony in Barney and the Choir helped to create tension. And so again, you could use either dramatic or situational or verbal to talk about how that irony created tension. Or who knows, maybe even your third body paragraph is about how irony in Barney and the Choir was helped to create engagement or empathy or any other purpose you can think. But what was the greater reason for why the creators used irony to go ahead and kind of manipulate or engage the audience? Now, according to the assignment, you can complete either a 4 to 6 paragraph essay analyzing the author's use of irony in Barney and the Choir. So technically, a 4 paragraph essay would just have your intro, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. You can do that. Here's my recommendation, though. Irony is hard. It's hard to be able to understand. It's hard to be able to really be able to prove that you fully understand it and you fully get it. So in my opinion, I would recommend and I would suggest maybe doing 3 body paragraphs about irony, because if you only do 2 body paragraphs about irony, then that is going to show me that if you mess up on one, then I'm not really sure if you get irony or if you're sure how it's used. If you use 3, then maybe if you messed up on 1 paragraph, then you still got 2 paragraphs that might potentially show that you fully understand it. So I would only suggest doing 2 paragraphs about irony if you 1000% get it. You can swear upon your life you're going to ace this. Otherwise, maybe consider doing 3 body paragraphs. So in your boxes and bullets, you kind of have to consider how you're going to go ahead and plan. So this is where you need to consider, how are you going to be writing your paper? Are you going to be writing about different types of irony, which is the academic route? So 1 paragraph for verbal, 1 paragraph for situational, 1 paragraph for dramatic. Or are you going to be writing your paper about different purposes for irony? That would be the honors route. That's going to really kind of show you how you're going to organize your boxes and bullets. So first, I'm going to focus on our body paragraphs, right? So this is either going to be for type, or this is either going to be for purpose, right? So we need to have a claim about irony. So this is either going to be the type of irony or the purpose. So perhaps this might be where I need to return to here. And again, I'm going to be using Did I Miss Anything and not Barney and the Choir. So maybe I found an example of verbal irony and I know the exact moment. And remember, this is where I can explain why I know for a fact this is an example of this type of irony. Now watch what I'm going to do. These are technically going to be my first 3 parts of my paragraph. This will be part of my assertion, this will be part of my evidence, and this will be the beginning of my commentary. Let me show you. My assertion, in the first stanza, Wayman uses verbal irony to point out how ridiculous that question is because I'm talking about a type of irony. I'll include the evidence saying where it was or what happened in the text. And then I'll go ahead and use the beginning of my commentary, which explains why it's that type of irony in 2 to 3 sentences. And that's exactly what I do here. I know it's verbal irony because, and I use the definition in my answer. Now I'm left with the impact on the reader. This is what I need to expand on. And guess what? I've got great material. So long as this moment is one of the moments I wrote long about, I know exactly what I can say. Check this out. What is the purpose for the irony? What's the impact on others? And is this successful? Well, you know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to include those 3 in my boxes and bullets. I'll go here, and this is where I'm talking about the purpose, the impact on others, and how I know or how I believe this was successful. But what happens when you're organizing your essay and you're saying, well, wait a minute. I don't have an example that I wrote long about that I need. That's okay. If you've got an example from your notes, maybe here, for example, you just haven't written long about it, no big deal. Use these same prompts to write long about that moment, or use these prompts to go ahead and be able to expand on this idea. What's the impact on the reader? Was it successful? How could it impact other people? How did it impact me? Now, I'm not going to walk you through how to do your other additional 1 or 2 body paragraphs. That's up to you. Let's take a very quick look, though, at your intro and your conclusion. For your intro, we need a lead strategy, the title of our piece, which is Barney and the Choir from the Andy Griffith show, 1 episode or 1 sentence summary from the text, and a thesis overarching claim about your strategy, which is irony. Now, if I'm doing the academic version of this assignment, my thesis might sound something like this. In Barney and the Choir, there are many types of irony that are used. Or maybe if I'm doing honors and I'm talking about purposes for irony, my thesis might sound something like this. In Barney and the Choir, irony is used for multiple different purposes throughout the episode. That's what you need. So here's my intro. You know, I've got my lead strategy. I've got my anecdote. I even give a title, so I know that my reader knows I'm going to be talking about the poem Did I Miss Anything, right? And then I've got a 1-sentence summary for the text, which for you will just be a 1-sentence summary of Barney and the Choir. Then I've got my thesis overarching claim, right? And so that's going to either depend on whether you're doing this for purpose or type. And for your conclusion, we need to include a transition of some kind, which is not in conclusion. You guys know not to use that transition. I need to summarize all my thoughts on why the writer used this strategy, meaning why the writer or why the creators used irony. And then I need to evaluate its overall success as a strategy. And so that's what I've done here. And it works. And I'm done. So that's it. That's how today you're going to use your examples from your pre-writing, where you're explaining how you know what kind of irony is being used, and writing long about your examples from pre-writing, and then put those right into your boxes and bullets. There you go. And of course, when you're done with your boxes and bullets, put those right into a draft. And that's basically going to be the bulk of the foundation for your form number 9. There you go. So if you have any questions, you can come and see me tomorrow. But for right now, I'll go ahead and get started on using your pre-writing, this guy, and use it to incorporate into your boxes and bullets. There you go. Good luck.